3 days off, time to practice, rest, prepare for this young Blazers team coming into Chase Center with no DeAndre Ayton, no Jeremy Grant, and Malcolm Brogdon decided to take off at the half. So you're looking at a bunch of 20-year-olds, right? And when you look at their backcourt, Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, and young Scoot Henderson could probably make the argument that is the most athletic three-guard combination in the league, right? And then, oh yeah, by the way, they don't play a big, right? Aiton's out. They're playing small, right? And so the fact that it took Steve Kerr almost until the fourth quarter to figure out that Jonathan Kuminga was a good matchup for this team, it lets me know that this whole thing is broken. It's broken. The checks and balances are no longer in place. It was super alarming, man. It was super alarming. Like that young team, right? They picked up ball pressure. They were pressing Steph in the backcourt. They frustrated him. They've got young legs. There's all sorts of reasons why they hung around. I think we got to give Portland credit for playing hard and executing, right? But it's one thing in the first half to come out with Loon and Dario in that drop coverage, and then as you watch it unfold, you're like, dang, Ant, Shaedon, they're turning the corner, they're popping the three, they're getting into the paint, they're getting what they want. At halftime, let's make some adjustments. And you know what? Again, they don't really have a big, so we could just play a bunch of wings. We can play Draymond at the 5, you can play Kuminga at the 5, it doesn't matter. They don't have a center. Nah. It took again till like the 4-minute mark for Kuminga to come in the game. Holidays are here again. Let me ask y'all, what are you going to get the men in your family? New socks? Another drill? Get a little more creative. Get them something they would want. Get them a Ridge wallet. This is the hyper lime color. I like the bright pop along with the texture they put on this here. They got the matching key case, but they have 30 different colors and styles. Leather, if you want to go the more traditional route, over 80,000 5-star reviews. And it really fits any lifestyle. You're a businessman, you're in slacks, it's going to fit in any pant pocket, right? A gym rat like myself, I can put it in gym shorts. It's durable, it's stylish, and of course, it's functional. So shop the holiday sale by going to ridge.com/alchemy to get up to 30% off. And right now, through December 20th, use my link and you can enter for a free chance to win a Ridge bundle worth up to $4,000. And look, like another point here, Brandon Pajemski, I really like him. I like the pick. You guys know I'm high on him. I'm excited for his future with the Warriors. But how does he already get automatic minutes on a team that is guard heavy and Kuminga's on ice? It just, again, it lets you know, big picture, there's something broken with the checks and balances in the way this is going about. And to me, what I'm seeing from Kerr is he is not coaching the game to what is happening. He's coaching the game to what he thinks was going to happen, right? He comes in with the strategy, and then it takes him way too long to jump off that if it's not working, right? We all know, like certain students in school where if you give them 2 weeks to present a science project, they'll show up 2 weeks later with a masterpiece, right? But that same student may be really bad at pop quizzes, taking tests, thinking quickly, changing quickly. And it's not even to say that Kerr can't do it. He's not doing it, right? He's not doing it. And so, yeah, they get the win, a win's a win, and all that cliche talk. The fact that it took that long to put Kuminga in the game lets you know, like, hey, man, we got problems. We got problems with the decision-making and strategy. You know, it's funny, the Wiseman clan, right? They may have been right all along, you know? Like, and clearly not about Wiseman, right? But the fact that Kerr and what he does to these young guys and stuff like that, because it just made no sense. Like, what is Jonathan Kuminga doing behind the scenes to warrant this? And a lot of the times it makes sense, right? You're playing a bigger team and you're like, well, you needed Dario to space the floor or you needed Looney's rebound. It made no sense last night. It made no sense, dude. So I'm tired of the excuses and we got to be dynamic. And so I'm all over the place because I'm worked up about this one, right? But the other thing was those of you that were pushing back at me about Andrew Wiggins and his finger injury, I've got the footage of them taping up the tip of his index finger before the game. The tip of his, not his knuckle, not his thumb, the tip of his index finger. So yeah, I stand on that take, man. Come on. Come on, man. Get real. Get real. And I say all that to say I think Kuminga deserves the opportunity to take Wiggins minutes. Like, what are we doing here? If there, because that's what they said coming into the season, right? We all have to have the same goal in order to be on the same page and reach, the potential of the roster. The goal has to be to win. It can't be about egos and money and rotations and value of players. He deserves that opportunity because you saw what he provided in that matchup. And he, frankly, is probably the best potential second option for Steph, right? We're talking about who's going to be the second scorer. Now, you could make an argument for Moody. You definitely could, right? But Kuminga, it seems like he's starting to take the next step as far as finishing downhill in the paint, right? He's no longer getting those out of control charges. You saw him take a little hezzy and an extra step. He's getting more patient and understanding, especially against a smaller lineup. I can be patient and I can finish in there like a big, right? And, big hop step baseline, reach back. It's starting to come together, and I don't see why they're not nurturing him being the second scorer because he's built for it. It doesn't make sense. And it was funny, man, because after the game, Kerr's like, oh, man, I guess I'm just not going to be able to have a set rotation. I just don't know. You know what? It's going to have to be different every night, You know what that is, too? It also is maybe the sneakiest way to cut Clay's role, right? It's like, hey, it's different every night. Like, you never know. And then we'll watch like a 10-game span, and it's like, oh, you know what? So maybe that's what it is. I don't know, man. But I did not like what I saw. Despite Steph getting, get on my back mode and breaking out, and Kuminga having that big breakout, Draymond was really good. He was really good, almost triple-doubled. Draymond, you got to step to the pass on the three. When you catch it flat-footed, that's what breaks your rhythm. But Draymond was really good. And so there was some positive things. Moody, right? He continued all that stuff. A win's a win, but big picture, that decision lets you know that things aren't right. I still think Kerr is a good coach, and I'm forever grateful for his part in this dynasty. But he may find himself in a spot now that's impossible for him to coach the way he wants to. Hence, kind of why Bob Myers isn't the general manager, right? Maybe it just is what it is. But yes, we owe them time to figure this out through the month of December at the very least. But that decision, man, I think it had all of Dub Nation like, oh, this is what we doing? Like, this really it? So maybe this was the tipping point, and from here on forward, we're going to see the rotation be based on trying to win, as silly as that sounds, right? As far as Portland goes and young Scoot Henderson, was he the number 2 pick or 3 pick? I forget. No, Brandon Miller was 2, right? He was 3. And I think a lot of people right now are taking victory laps like, oh, Brandon Miller, slow down. I think that Scooty had several, he hurt the ankle, right? But you look, I think where he's really struggling to find a rhythm is he's been on ball his whole life, right? And now he's sharing the ball with Sharp, with Simons, and with Brogdon. They have him like setting screens and rolling and doing things that he's not accustomed to. I think he finds his rhythm with his handle and being on the ball. And so it's going to take some time. I wouldn't write him off by any means, but I'm not in love with the way Chauncey and the Blazers are using him. At the same time, you understand it because of how talented those other 2 guards are, right? Maybe Brogdon, I get he's a steady veteran, but you might have to just chip him out of the mix in order to let Scoot develop at a proper rate, right? Now, we got OKC. We're in OKC Friday. I'm not holding my breath on a win, right? I hate to be negative, y'all, but it is what it is, right? Y'all tune in to hear the truth, and that's the truth. It's not looking great, and I think it starts with Kerr's decision-making and rotations because it's not like we don't have options. As always, hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.